Hey everybody, Coach Liz here. I hope you're having a great week. This week I just want to leave a few tips for you about our healthy habit this week. It comes from the Life Book, of course. We're going through the Life Book, and this week we are on element 16, and it's dealing with addictive foods. Now, before you started the program, you probably noticed that you may have been addicted to some foods or some habits that you were in, whether you had a routine of eating ice cream while you watched TV or a tub of popcorn at the movies, and it was something that you always had to do. For me, it was sugar. I always felt like I had to have something sweet after a meal, and it was almost like an addiction. I couldn't go a day without it. But as I got on the program and started working on that mindset, then I've learned to balance my blood sugar and really think ahead before I make those choices so that I'm really conscious of what choices I'm going to make as far as things that are not fueling my body in the right way. So, during your weight loss phase, if you are in fat burn, that's pretty simple. It's pretty laid out. Your blood sugar's balanced. You will have to make some choices. And so I want you to start practicing stop, challenge, choose. When you have a choice to make, especially going into the holidays, there will be lots of choices that you have to make, whether you want to stay on your program or not. And this is the time that you can stop, challenge that choice, and then make a choice. So the more space that you can put in between stimulant and response, the better, so that you actually have that time to stop and think about it. And so the more you do this, the easier it gets. And it's not just for food. You can stop, challenge, choose with your thoughts, with your actions, how you react to things. Stop and being more mindful before you make a choice. It really helps. And one thing to know is when you do have a food craving, and if you struggle with food cravings, reach out. We can get you some webinars on how to tackle emotional eating, which is really helpful. But a couple things, like as you're learning to stop, challenge, choose, if you have a craving or a choice that you have to make that you really want, just know that a craving usually goes away in about 20 minutes, whether you feed it or not. So often, if you can distract yourself and just go do something to get your mind off of it for 20 minutes, then usually that craving will pass. And sometimes you're not able to get up and go for a walk or take a bath or call a friend or, something that would be relaxing to you. Sometimes it's just a few deep breaths, breathe in, hold it, breathe out, and just doing that a few times as you stop and think about that choice. And sometimes you just have to sit with the uncomfortable. I know for me, if I really want a sweet treat and it's right in front of me and it's really hard for me to not eat it, I will just notice that it's uncomfortable and I'll recognize that and I'll say, it's okay. It can be uncomfortable. And usually in about 20 minutes that has passed, especially if I've gotten a big glass of water and like left the situation where it's not right in front of me. So those are a couple tips that you can try as you go into the holiday to stop and be more mindful. Now, as you get to your optimal weight and you're in the optimization phase, the transition that we talked about is so important so that you're getting in the habit of making those healthy choices. You're continuing to balance your blood sugar so that you're not having the highs and lows throughout the day. And so that's why transition is going to teach you what foods to eat together to be able to make those smart, healthy choices to control those cravings. And just knowing that if you balance your blood sugar, you will have less cravings, you will have less energy spikes and drops, and so you will actually crave sugar and flours less often if you're making good choices and balancing your blood sugar. So not to say that you will never have sugar or white flour again once you hit your goal, but hopefully it won't be every day. It will be an occasional treat, but most often you'll make those healthy choices that are going to help keep you on track and balance your blood sugar. And last tip is to know that you are building new roads in your brain. These are new habits that you're forming, and you're getting rid of those deep grooves, those roads that you have practiced for a long time. And so just to know that it's pretty easy for your brain to want to slip back into those comfortable deep grooves in your brain. And so it's important that you're staying consistent with your healthy habits as those new roads are being formed. And so staying up with those 5 habits that we talked about, your water, your exercise, your sleep, your stress management, and your nutrition that's going to balance your blood sugar, that will become automatic. And those choices will become easier and easier to make. So those are my quick tips on how to deal with addictive food and emotional eating. So let me know if you want more resources on this. And my challenge for you is to start practicing stop, challenge, and choose. Every day, look for a choice to consciously stop, think about that choice, and then make a choice, making it not automatic to just grab whatever's there, mindless eating. So that will just really help you to get through the holidays. And I hope you have a fantastic week. We'll talk to you next week.